Hey everyone, what is up and welcome to my YouTube channel. So for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jesse and I make videos sometimes, not always. But right now I just had a really good idea because I am starving and I have a 2-hour gap from I had my first class from my second class. So I was like, why not do a 7-Eleven mukbang. No one can ever say that word right. I'm gonna walk to 7-Eleven because the 7-Eleven is literally down the street, so I'm gonna go get some stuff, some breakfast stuff and some drinks or food, and let's get on to it.
We are lost.
Alright, so in one of my videos I actually got a lot of people saying like, oh, how did you save up for this car? How did you get it? How long did it take? Blah, blah, blah. So I never really addressed that issue on how I got my Jeep. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Hold on, before I start, I got to take a bite of this one. I think it's cheese. I don't know. So, in 2016, I got in a car accident. I didn't have this car. I had my sister let me borrow an Acura RSX. It was a blue one. It was a good car. And I really liked it. And that day I had a midterm. I was with me and my friend. We were going home. So we were on our way to school. I was at a light, and there was a trailer next to me, and I noticed it. So the light turns green. We're going, and I noticed the trailer was swaying. This trailer was like an 8-wheel, 16-wheel. It was a low bed one. So it was like the same height as my car, kind of. A little bit lower, like right by the door, if that makes sense. And anyway, we're going, and I noticed the trailer was swaying a little bit, so I kind of got like a little bit cautious. And then like we were going, I was probably going like 30 miles an hour. All of a sudden this trailer just sways into my lane. And at that time, you're probably wondering, Jesse, why didn't you beep at him? Why didn't you honk at him? Why didn't you do anything? It's like at that moment, my brain sort of froze, and I was kind of just like, Jesus, like, please just take the wheel, save me. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I was just in shock. So I was just kind of like, and the trailer like clipped my car. It dragged me like, I would say like half a block, and my car was on the sidewalk. A tire flew off, and luckily I did not hit a pole because I was my lane was the furthest to the right, and right next to me was a sidewalk with a bunch of light poles. So luckily I didn't hit any of those poles, and so we got off. Oh, I got off, my friend got off, and this guy starts yelling at us. First of all, I think he saw me looking younger. He was like, oh, I'm gonna win, blah, 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 because I'm younger. So he started, like, cussing at us. He's like, what the He was like, basically blaming it on me. And I was like, dude, like, I was like, chill, like, let's let the police come here. So the police go, they do a report, and they're like, oh yeah, you're not at blame. So I was like, oh. In that moment, I was sort of relieved that it wasn't my fault, because if it was my fault, insurance would have been like and hold on, let's try some of these chips. Anyway, that happens. I called my mom because at that moment I was scared. I was like, this is my first time getting in a car accident. This is my first time, like encountering, like dealing with all this. So I called my mom. They show up, they pick me up. I go back home, and then I just start crying because I was just, I don't know, it was like a mix of emotions. I was like sad. I felt bad because it was my sister's car that I totaled. So that happens, and I get an attorney, and they jump on my case, and they're like, hey, we can help you out. So I was like, okay, cool. So I have to do, I probably did about 2 months of chiropractor every day after. Oh shit, I'm making a mess. Every day after school I would go have my little visits, and that went on for 2 months. And then after that I had to do MRIs. I had to do a bunch of doctor's visits, and I was just like, oh. And this whole case went on for a year, and it was tough because I didn't have a car to drive to school, so I'd have to wake up early extra early to go wait at the bus stop, take the bus, and then come back on the bus. I would do that every day, and it was honestly a lot of hard work, not gonna lie, but luckily nothing happened to me. I'm fine, and I didn't break anything. But that's what happened. And after a year was going on, I was tired of it. I was like, you know what, I just want this case to be over with. I need a car to drive to school. Like, fall semester is beginning. Like, I need something. The case finishes. I got I won't say how much, but with that I was able to look for a car. So for months I was looking at Jeeps, because Jeeps were my dream car. Not only like, ooh, these cheese and chicken ones, bomb. Not only like the way that they look, but I wanted a high car because I feel safer with high cars because you can see better. Anyway, so I wanted that. I looked for Jeeps. I was like, you know what, I really want a Jeep Wrangler, a 4-door one. So I found one, and then I wanted like a 2011, 2012, but the one that I found, this one that I bought, is a 2008 Jeep Wrangler. And I was like, okay. So I looked at it in person. It was like really nice. Like the paint on this one, they kept it really good for a 2008, and the miles were good. Like whenever you buy a car, I feel like that's important, like knowing how many miles a car has. So this one was good. It was under 100,000 miles, which I was like, score. So I was like, you know what? I told my mom, I was like, I want to buy it. And we ended up taking it to the mechanic. They checked it. They said everything was fine. I was like, even if they say there's a problem, I was like, I'm still going to take it. I was like, at that point, I was like, you know when you're so impatient and you just want something? So I really wanted this car. And I got it. And I feel like that was one of like sort of like a life-changing moment where I was able to get my dream car, not on my own, like kind of on my own with my own money from the case that I did, but I mean, it was kind of like a sign of like independent. I don't know. This car, December 5th of 2017. I feel like ever since like I got it, I don't know, I just really love this car. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything, because not only like it's a cool car to drive, it's like also fun to drive for like summer and stuff. But the only bad thing is the gas mileages. It gets like 14 miles a gallon. If I would get another car, it would probably be a Prius, but I mean, I really love my Jeep. I wouldn't trade it. Alright, so thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this story time and this kind of like eat with me sort of video. Anyway, I'm going to be making more videos in the future, so make sure to subscribe and not miss a notification from me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.